I was watching a YouTube, one of my subscriptions, and he had a show and tell, and so I thought, that's a pretty funky idea. So similar to him, I picked 3 things to show and tell, and these things kind of have a bit of how do I say it, sentimental value. Now, my first one that I will show is something that I've grown up with since I was a little kid, and going right back to the late 80s. Now, in the late 80s we had there was good television. We had Smurfs, but one of the best things we had was Alf. Now, I love my Alf. I've had him since I was a little kid, and you know what? Every little kid knows the feeling of having a toy that they cut up to and have the comfort. And hey, gay as this may sound, he still stays on my bed, and I still cuddle up with him. I've had some people find it quite interesting, seeing this very odd-looking creature. But you know what? He's my Alf, and I don't give a shit. But no, I've had him since I was a little kid, and he's been with me through the hard times and the sad times. So this is my sentimental soft toy growing up that I still have, Alf. And you know what? I say we should start a petition and bring back Alf. Anyway, so now, my second show and tell. Now, some people have favorite books, favorite stories. Now, as a little kid, I think the whole concept behind this story really meant a lot to me, I guess. And I guess I'm one of those people that never wants to grow up. And I also am one of those people that love the idea of running away and living adventures like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and fighting pirates. Ultimately, as a little kid, being a writer myself, I've always had a big imagination. And I guess one of the very few books that, and stories that really captured what that was like was James Barrie, Peter Pan. And I guess, it's a brilliant story about the innocence of a child and the fear of growing up, and just, how do I say it? James Barrie's narrative is utterly beautiful, and just, there's so many things that, like, if anyone's ever read the original Peter Pan, would understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's a very beautiful story of friendship, love, and just pure childlike innocence. And I guess our biggest fear is to all grow up, and I guess the one thing I really want to try and do is live my life where, you know what, yeah, I'm an adult, but there's still that childlike youthfulness. Because the one thing I miss about growing up is the adventure of when things didn't have names and we had to find out what they were. And so I guess I'm always going to be Peter Pan. I'm never going to grow up. I'm always going to run around with the lost boys and dance with all the fairies. So anyway, I'm going to read you just the opening lines to the novel, Chapter 1. Peter breaks through. All children grow up except one. They soon know they will grow up. And the way Wendy knew was this. One day when she was 2 years old, she was playing in a garden, and she plucked another flower and ran it with her to her mother. I suppose she must have looked rather delightful, for Mrs. Darling put her hand to her heart and cried, "Oh, why can't you remain like this forever?" This was all that passed between them on the subject, but henceforth Wendy knew that she must grow up. You always know after you are 2. 2 is the beginning of the end. So that's one of my favorite books, and if anyone ever gets a chance, get a copy and read it. It's one of the most beautiful stories, and you know what? I read it even now, and it still gives me the warm fuzzies, and it gives me that hope that, yeah, life goes on, we grow up, but we can always be young at heart. And now, if there's anyone I could marry, anyone I could be truly in love with, if she was female, would be Keira Knightley. She's done movies like Bend It Like Beckham, she's done the movie The Jacket, she's done the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. She's quite diverse, and I used to work at the cinemas at one point, and I was in love with Keira Knightley. And then King Arthur came out, and she was Guinevere. And now this, my friend, sits in my bedroom, and I've had her for a good about 4 years maybe now, or 3 years, and she's travelled with me for quite a while so far, and she'll continue. And you know what, Keira Knightley, if you're out there and you see this, I'm in love with you, and I'll definitely jump the fence for you, and here she is. See, she's my bitch, and I love her, and she's awesome. And Keira Knightley, I don't give a shit what anyone says. You're hot, whether you're skinny, fat, but being the tomboy of Hollywood, you are a very talented woman, and I love you. So anyway, those are 3 of my show and tells for this segment. I might probably do some more of this at a later point, but it just gives you a bit of an idea of some of the things that, I guess, what I am into maybe, and I'm also into this, Calvin Klein singing to you.